be. So it might be software, it might be a dramatic piece of work, it might be artistic, it might be musical, it might be a sound recording, it might be a movie, TV, broadcast. So it could be a lot of things, okay? A lot of the time it's images. Do you go onto Google and find images a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. A lot of those are actually not legal. People just put them up there and people copy them and they don't realise. So have you ever been to the advanced search when you use Google?
No.
Okay, there is something called advanced search, and that means you can actually look for all the copyright-free images, which means you can use them in your work. And as daft as it is, and some people actually do this, if you actually create something, if you write a brilliant piece of work and you think it's amazing, you could just put a C in a circle and say, right, that's copyright, because it's your work. Chances are people won't take any notice of it, but seriously, if you create something, then you have the copyright against it. Now, plagiarism is, as I said, when somebody copies the work from you and pretends that it's their work. So this is a really bad thing. And as I say, in schoolwork and exam work, it's always important, if you do take any resource off the internet or whatever, to list a bibliography at the end and just list all those things that you actually used. So plagiarism is an ethical issue. So it's not a legal issue. So it's not illegal to plagiarize, but it is ethical. Do you know what ethical means?
So it's like you said that it's not illegal, but you will get in trouble. Like, see if it's like a exam or yeah.
So it's ethical means the difference between right and wrong. Okay. So plagiarism means copying somebody else's work and pretending it's yours, and this means it is an ethical issue, which means it is the difference between right and wrong. So it's actually morally wrong. Have you heard the word moral?
Yes, I have.
But good. Okay.
Yeah.
So moral means you have a certain sense of values, you have a certain sense of morals, and if work is plagiarized, it's against those good values. It's a bad thing. And actually in schools, they use plagiarism software to check students' work. So they will copy a paragraph from the student's piece of work, and they will put it into a piece of software, and they will check if this has been copied from any resource that is available. And not only do they check against what exists on their internet and resources, they also sometimes check one student's work against another.
Yeah.
So they can even see if, Sally and Henry have got exactly the same piece of work. So that's the type of software that they can use to actually check. Now, this is the actual law that exists to protect the creator. It's called the Copyright Designs and Patents Act, 1988. And you see this logo on the right-hand side?
Yes.
So all of the legislation, all of the laws will have this, because it's the royal signature for when the Houses of Parliament pass a certain act. So this, so in your words, how would you describe this Copyright Act?
So when you upload something or you make it on your own, and you upload it, and that is for that you need to. If anyone wants to download it, it has to be you have to pay for it, and if they like find a way to get it for free, it's illegal. And say another one, if you make like an image and you upload it to Google, and someone comes and screenshot and crops the bit out and says they made it themselves, is copyright. And plagiarism.
So copyright is the law, okay? That's passed by the Houses of Parliament, and that says that creator created that thing and you can't copy it, and that is the legal one. And then the plagiarism is not an actual law, but it's just morally wrong to copy. It's ethically wrong to copy. Okay, so those are the differences. Do you understand the difference between copyright and plagiarism? Okay, good. So why is it forbidden to copy?
So someone could have done very hard work on it. So let's just say, for an example, someone makes a game, and they took like 3 years or like a year on it, and then someone comes and they can just steal all of the code and put it into their game, their software, and then it can just say the person that copied its name, say made by, and then all that person and people would think the person who actually created it, they will think that person who didn't make it, and then they will all like hate on the person that actually made it.
Good. So these people, it's their job, and these people are stealing their income from their job. Have you heard of the word piracy?
No.
You know, like a pirate, when a pirate is on a ship out on the ocean. Yeah. And what do pirates do?
They steal.
Yeah. So that's why this is called piracy. So in the same way, it means stealing of people's work. Now, this will be interesting. How do people get caught? Have you heard of an IP address?
Yes.
Okay, what does IP stand for?
So, internet privacy.
No, internet protocol.
Yeah,
well done. Yeah.
So it's from your internet, internet, and basically they can like hackers or like a white hat hacker, that can come. That is, say you done something wrong, and like the police hire a white hat hacker to find who is wrong, and then they can like track you from your internet, and then they can like shut you down, and then they can catch you when you're like.
You've got a good memory. Well done, because we talked about that last week. Well done. Yeah. So every computer that is connected to the internet or to a network has an IP address. Now, it's not actually an address like in the high street. Yeah. It's actually a number. So the IP address is a number. Internet protocol address is actually a number. And every device that is connected has an IP address. So I'm saying a computer would have an IP address. What else do you think might have an IP address? What other device can you think of that might be connected?
A phone, your phone.
What if you wanted to print out your work?
A printer.
Good. So it's not just computers that have an IP address, it's also things like printers. So every device that is connected to that network has an IP address. And an IP address is a whole load of numbers. Now, I was in a school once where there was a boy in year 9, and he was being bullied at school, and he was having a really hard time, and he was very, very sad, and he didn't know what to do about it. And he started to send messages to the teachers saying bad and naughty things. So the teachers needed to find out who was sending these messages, and they managed to find out who was sending it because of the IP address. So even though this person was sending messages, you bad thing, blah, 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 and he wasn't signing his name or anything, but the technicians knew what his IP address was, and so they found out who was actually sending these messages. And we found out afterwards it was really just a cry for help, because he was getting bullied and he didn't know what to do about it, so he started sending these messages. So in the end, we all managed to help him, and everything was fine. But he, in a sense, when you go on the internet and you think, well, nobody knows who I am.
Yeah.
Well, actually they do.
Yeah. I have a question.
So have you got a story about it?
No, but I have a question.
Okay.
So say, how you said they can get it from internet, yeah? And how on your phone, yeah?
Yep.
And you swipe down and there's like a Wi-Fi.
Yes.
And what if you turn that off and then you get it from data? Would they still be able to?
Well, beyond the IP address, I don't know what service provider you have, but those service providers will send out messages to the companies if they feel that anybody is doing anything wrong with the use of the internet. So who's your internet service provider? Is it Virgin or Sky or don't you know? You don't know.
I'm not sure, yeah.
Okay, but you will have an internet service provider who you have set up your internet service with, and even though people aren't aware of it, these internet service providers will be checking through to see if there's anything that they're a little bit suspicious of. And if they are, they will just say, dear Virgin Company, we feel that so-and-so person is doing something wrong here, and then they will start checking it up. So even though you think you can get away with these things,
Yeah.
if it's the internet, you can't. There's so much tracking that goes on. So we've talked about what can be copyrighted. So as I say, it's not just software. It can be books, plays, music, dance, movies, pictures. Basically, you can't get something for nothing.
Yeah.
So you can see all the little images here of what it actually protects. So one thing that might be of interest, so like I often show you a video clip.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine if we were in a classroom and I showed the class a video clip, but as they came through the door, I said, oh, I'm going to show you a video clip, 50 pence, please, for you to watch it. That's not allowed. So teachers can show some video clips and stuff like that, as long as they don't charge money. So it's a money thing. They're allowed to show these things, but if they started saying to the kids that they've got to pay to watch it, then that would be against the law. So as we said, it lasts for 70 years after the person has passed away, died, and then it goes out into public domain. So public domain is, as you are slightly familiar with,